What's up, YouTube family, and welcome back. Today we're talking about preventing hair bumps, or actually getting rid of hair bumps if you already got them. So the last few weeks, a couple people have been asking me about how to make their skin better, how to make their skin stop getting bumped up. And I just cut my beard off, and this time I knew a little bit more about how to prevent getting as many hair bumps. So I still got some because my hair is coarse and curly and my skin isn't the thickest through here. So the three things we're going to talk about today are knowing what your skin can take, what your skin likes, in comparison to the curl pattern that you have and how thick your hairs are. So the second thing is going to be not going too low on the hair for your skin. And then the third thing is what to do if you do get hair bumps. So we're going to jump right into it with the first section here. So actually, scratch that. Before we can get into the, knowing what your skin likes and what condition it is, you need to know what a hair bump actually is, because that'll give you some more context of how to prevent them and why it makes sense for curlier hairs to get stuck into your skin. So that's exactly what it is. A hair bump, a razor bump, is when you got a hair that goes back and curls back, comes out of the skin and curls back into the skin, and then that irritates the skin and makes it bump up. So sometimes it doesn't even make it all the way out of the skin. That hair will be under there and just growing and growing and growing, and then that hair bump will either kind of get a white head, or it'll kind of be reabsorbed and just create like a thick skin pocket. Like you'll see like really dark hair bumps, and sometimes if you don't get rid of them at all, they can get infected, or you can have other issues where you'll need to actually get them professionally removed, or have to use the tweezers and get really deep and you get a really long hair out of there. So long story short, hair bumps are when the hairs curl back into the skin. The first thing you need to do is know what your skin likes, or what your skin can handle. If your skin is thinner and you have curly hair, it puts you at the highest risk for getting those hair bumps. So if your hair is really curly, it's pretty likely that if you use a razor, you will get hair bumps. So what you can do is figure out how low you can get the hairs without getting hair bumps. So that's what I normally have to do. I end up only going trimmer low. I don't use a razor against the grain, especially. Sometimes I can use it with the grain through this section, but not through here on the more sensitive skin of the neck and the inside corners of my mouth. So you'll figure out and pay attention to what your skin can and cannot handle. Either that, or you can condition your skin to handle it by thickening it, but that's a whole nother story. It's a little bit easier to go ahead and prevent it, especially from a professional standpoint. But if you have some particular reason you just want to get your skin conditioned to be able to use a razor in more sensitive areas, you'll end up thickening that skin, and you'll go through the process of pulling these hairs out and the skin getting used to those hairs actually coming through the skin. So I wanted to stop right here to add an article from the American Osteopathic College of Dermatology on pseudofolliculitis, which is called razor bumps. So pseudofolliculitis barber is what it is, but I'll leave the link down in the description of this video so you can read more about it through the skin. So knowing what your skin likes, I'm gonna put a graph up here that shows just the skin softness to curliness of your hair. So if your hair doesn't have any curl, regardless of how soft it is, you're not very likely to get hair bumps, because the hairs will grow straight out of it. But once you get to a certain point of curliness, the thinner your skin is, or the thinner and softer your skin is, the more likely you are to get hair bumps curling back in there. So that's why little kids with really soft hair, you can't really use a razor on them, or the hairs will go and curl back in there if they got really soft and curly hair, not just soft hair. So just knowing what you can do, you can use your tools the best way for your skin. The second thing is not going too low if you know what kind of skin or what your skin can take. So on your neck skin, this is a more sensitive area if you have curly hair. A lot of people, like you see on the shaver commercials, they just go and take the foil shaver and just go everywhere. The foil shavers get really low. They get pretty close. A lot of them get as close as razors or closer because you can apply more pressure without actually getting into the skin. If you did a wet shave against the grain with a razor pulling the skin taut, yes, you probably get more hair than a foil shaver, but that's a different story, and it's pretty difficult to do if you have curly hair, first of all, because you will bump up most places. I'm sure a lot of guys cringe thinking about going against the grain on a wet shave with super curly hair, but a lot of people do have those issues, whether you know it or not. So if you have really straight hair, this video, you might not even be on this video, but don't go too low if you have curly hair on your face, if you have curly hair on your head. Some people get hair bumps on their head. Thankfully, I don't. I probably would if I used a foil shaver on my head, but I've never done that, especially the back of the neck. That's an area where you see a lot of people, they call it the crunch bar. They have like the crunch bar look going on the back of their neck. That's from going too low and not getting all of those ingrown hairs out. So don't go too low. Know if you can use a trimmer. I used to only go clipper, like halfway closed or sometimes closed against the grain all over, just to make sure everything was all even, but not lower than that. Or these hairs, like you can see, will curl back into my skin. Like they would come back out, or they wouldn't make it all the way out of the skin. So the third thing, just to keep it pretty concise, is pull out or pluck out the hairs. You don't have to pull the hair all the way out from the root, but you do need to get the hair out of the skin. So those are the three things for the third point. Third point is three quick things. Pluck or flip the hair out with tweezers to get rid of the hair bumps if you weren't able to prevent them with the first two steps, or if you're here because you already have them, next time you won't have to get them. So pluck the hairs out each of them individually so that the skin can heal with the hair out of it. So the second thing you can do is brush your skin like you were doing to get a beard coming in, because one, that'll stimulate the blood flow, not the hair flow, the blood flow into the skin, and it will help train the hairs in the direction, and it will drag some of those hairs out that you would have plucked out with the tweezers. So brushing your skin will increase the blood flow there and pop those hairs out, while also exfoliating, which is the third point here, is going to be to exfoliate your skin and also keep it pretty clean and moisturized. So I'm not saying you have to clean it to where you dry it out all the time, but make sure that you are cleaning your face and getting some of those oils out that can start to trap. So when the oils sit on your skin, they start to collect dirt and debris. It'll get pushed into the hairs and turn those into whiteheads and put them at a higher risk of getting infection. So you want to keep that clean and make sure that you exfoliate. That means get all the dead skin off of it. You can do that either with your brush or with some, like we were talking about brushing before, or with some type of exfoliator, exfoliating pad or brush or whatever you need to do. And then just make sure, like with your shea butter or whatever you need to do, just make sure that you keep it moisturized where they're not super flaky, so that your skin, even when you do have a couple hair bumps popping up, so that your skin doesn't look flaky. So moisturize it, knock it back down with something natural like a shea butter or something like that. But for the most part, that should wrap it up. Let me know if there's anything I missed. Let me know what questions you have down in the comments as usual, and then I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But I hope this helps somebody, as I hope, you know, a lot of people have been asking me that these last couple weeks, and I've been going through it myself, just making sure. I got like 3 or 4 right now, but I've been doing pretty good this time. So let me know what questions you have, and I'll talk to you soon. Talk to you in the comments or on Instagram.